Hello, it's Rebecca from Aunt Beck's Bakery, and I want to make a really quick video about a tool that I love that really changed the way I work. It is a Styrofoam hot knife. So it's electric, you plug it in, and it cuts right through Styrofoam very quickly with no mess. So let me demonstrate it real quick. Okay, so I plugged it in and heated it up, and that's the wand. It's about 5 or 6 inches. So if you had a round like this that you purchased and you wanted to make some slices out of it, you can see how that would easily be done. And see that dent I already made? That's because this cuts so easily and so quickly. You can see it cut all the way through really quickly. The one bad thing is that it smokes afterwards. So, you know, you're gonna have to open a door or a window and it stinks a little bit. It's a little bit stinky. So I'll show you again. Okay, no mess. Completely cut, no mess at all. So it's a great tool. It really changed things for me. So the thing is before I had this, I was cutting with a regular knife, and that makes a really huge mess. I've also used the knife to cut donuts. I used to sell a lot of donuts, and then so it cut the hole in the middle and then shaped the donut. And then sometimes if a styrofoam cake round is too short or tall and I need a certain size, then I'll cut like 1 inch off using the hot knife to get the exact size that I want. So as you can see, I did have to cut some of this one. This is a 14-inch round. Had to cut the middle because the knife didn't reach. Like I said, it's only 5 or 6 inches. So it couldn't cut the middle of the styrofoam. So I ended up having to use a knife, and then there's a big mess. So I work out of the garage. So I'm sure my husband will help me clean that up. Okay, so let me clarify that really quick because I just rewatched the video. When I said with the 14-inch cake foam, I was trying to cut it with this knife and it wouldn't reach all the way through into the middle. So I had to use this knife. I said like knife twice. I was like knife, knife, knife. And I didn't really say like exactly what exactly what it was. This is a bread knife, like a regular bread knife. So that's why it made that big mess. And that's only a minimal mess. I've made way bigger messes than that. I used to have a saw and I would do it outside in the backyard with the saw. So anyway, I wanted to clarify that for you guys real quick. Okay, so as you can see, it does its job. It cuts really quickly, very neat, no mess. I would highly recommend if you are cutting styrofoam on a regular basis or at all, if you have little craft projects that you do, to get one of these hot knives. However, I do have a couple of complaints about it. So one of the things is that I showed you on the carpet is that the blade is not long enough. So it's only, I don't know, I don't have a ruler, but it looks about like maybe 5 inches. That's not long enough because sometimes I'm doing really big cakes and I need to cut. And I'm sure it would be I'm sure there's a lot of instances where it's just, this is just not gonna cut it. It's just not. So I would love if anybody out there knows of a longer hot blade I can get, please let me know, because I need a long one. I need like 12 inches would be great. And then the other thing is that I have to replace it a lot. So you're supposed to wipe it down while it's still hot with a wet cloth. And because it, I don't know what it's called. There's a word for it, but it gets all this like gunk buildup. So when it smokes, some of that goes into the air, which is fine, but a lot of it stays and it ends up getting coated if you don't clean it off after every use. And I'm not the greatest at doing that because I work a ton, and I also have a job. So, I mean, no excuse. I need to clean it off every time, but I don't. So I go through a lot of them. And even when I stay relatively on top of cleaning it off, I'm gonna say the longest, the absolute longest use I get out of this is about 4 or 5 months, and I have to get a replacement. It just will stop working, just doesn't work if there's buildup on it. So if anybody can give me any recommendations on how to get a longer life out of these, I would appreciate it. Any of you crafters out there, I'm sure you have these. And I've looked at this, these replacements are only about 15 bucks, which is great. And I've looked at some, you know, that are like $100, and they still, some of the comments say they don't last more than 6 months. So maybe that's just part of this tool. Like it just, the styrofoam is just too thick and there's too much material on it to have it working properly for a long time. I don't know, let me know and tell me what your experience is if you've used a hot knife before. I'd love to hear. Okay, see you next time.